I want to do something for our viewers, our subscribers. If you could get people to subscribe to the show.
Of course.
And you comment on this video who you got to subscribe, and they comment back, we will put the names of the people who got subscribers. And even if you're just subscribing, you can get someone in. You'll have about a week to do this, from when we put the video up to when we record the next one. And at the next episode, we will pull a name out of the hat, and I'm going to make a leather tool roll for whoever name we pull out of a hat. If we get more than 10 people.
Bribery.
So if we get one person, I mean hey, this one person got us one subscriber. No, if we get at least 10 new subscribers in the next week, once we post this, so 2 weeks from now. So I'm probably going to start making this, and if we only get 8 more subscribers, well, I have a tool roll for myself.
Yeah, so make your people subscribe.
So, and if you're watching this and you have a man in your life that you don't know what to get him, and you're okay with a little late Christmas gift because...
Or a female. Be all inclusive.
So all these microaggressions! So get us some subscribers, and you could win a present.
Yay.
And if you want to keep it for yourself, that's fine too.
Yeah, nobody needs to know.
Good evening, everybody.
I just found the keys to a city. The beats are big and the lights are pretty. So why can't we get to the busy where the dreams are in the sky?
And that's There You Are by Pogo. And yes, here we are. Welcome to Lost Mannerisms. As normal, I'm your host, Forrest, and Anthony's back with us.
How's it going, guys?
He's a really bad influence.
Apparently.
I wasn't going to smoke again, and here we are smoking cigars and kick back, and...
We're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's true. And we're going to really be going into the conversations this week, so, kicking back with a cigar might be pretty good. Today, we have a very informative episode. We're going to talk about microaggressions as well.
All right, cool. I'm all about it. We'll get into a little bit more on what microaggression is.
Maybe.
But,
or we're just going to trash talk them and say how much BS they are. But
yes.
You could be with us for a little bit of both, but you might be wondering what I'm drinking. Even with this bad influence, I'm sitting here with, I guess I have a light and stormy because I didn't want to use dark rum, but our drink of the week is a dark and stormy, which is about a third rum, 2/3 ginger beer. You pour the rum in over ice, and then you pour the ginger beer slowly on top, and they separate until you swirl them together when you put your lime in, and it becomes a nice, delicious drink.
Very good.
You're supposed to use dark rum. I put light rum in this just to try it. I'm not disappointed.
No, it looks fantastic, and it goes with your little outfit, your Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
He's chilling on a beach, I'm chilling in the cold. So, let's get on with it.
Yeah. What isn't news this week? Have you been paying attention to the news at all?
Yeah, a lot of things have happened. Some major accomplishments. I know, just looking over the script, we said NASA.
NASA went up. They designed a craft to drill into the surface of Mars.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read. I probably should have read more and learned about what all that was, but we have successfully sent another spacecraft to Mars, which is good.
It's really awesome. I mean, we're part way to being Martians sooner or later.
Yeah, maybe we'll colonize Mars soon enough.
Yeah.
I'll jump into something I just found out today. The most recent news. Trump has won the trade war with China. People aren't going to like how I said that.
I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a very good thing because there's no new tariffs that are going to be placed on China.
Well, not only that, but I've dove into the stock market, not with real money, but with Monopoly Money. It's an app on my phone. And believe it or not, there was a lot of... The stock market went down a lot due to the fact that China and America were going back and forth with the whole tariff
And the
thing.
stock market always drops in October.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm using monopoly money, not real money. But with that being put aside, this did fantastic for the economy, and people are back to where they should be in terms of.
Are they? I haven't been looking. Because I put, I didn't use Monopoly money, but I only put a weekend in AC on my,
For what, like $150?
like 200. I'm still down. I'm still down. It
Okay.
will be good over time because we're going to have less tariffs and stuff.
Oh, mama.
Ooh, hey.
Hey. Just want to show you real quick.
Oh, son of a gun. They burned the ashtray. Adam's trying to kill us by lighting all this pipe tobacco on, and he burned our ashtray.
So I started off with 30 grand. I'm up 2,500.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, but Cracker Barrel, one hell of a stock. All right, so
Was it 2 nights ago? George Bush passed away.
2 nights ago or 3? It's one or the other. I think it was had to be a Friday. I think it was Friday.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, in the past few days, George Bush Sr. passed away. I haven't heard of anything yet as crazy as when his wife passed away. There was some nonsense going on, but I did see on Twitter the NRA posted something, and the first answer instantly was, you guys should all rescind your NRA memberships like George Bush did to honor his memory. It's like...
Anyway. Yeah, I'm not. I feel like we shouldn't dive into that a little.
It's just we can touch it light. We can touch it out exactly how it itself. I have to sneeze.
Come on, Gesundheit. Gesundheit. No, not 3. All right.
No, not 3. I'm just making funny faces here, though.
That's not the only time you're making funny faces.
Easy. PG-13. Come on.
It's just an innuendo.
Duodenum? No, as it is, it's there was more behind him withdrawing from the NRA. There's more other reasons why. It's very weird to just come out and not know George Bush and say, yeah, you guys should rescind your NRA membership. But I'll let you talk about what happened at the border this week.
I shouldn't be smiling because it is sad. But long story short, the caravan has made its way up to the Texas border, North Mexico border, or New Mexico.
No, New Mexico, California. They made it all the way to Tijuana.
Wow. Okay, so there's multiple things that happened in Mexico. The biggest thing that I've heard was the whole, using the tear gas thing. But a couple of my colleagues were talking about, it was inhumane that they used tear gas. Why is the Mexican police trying to stop this? There's many multiple layers to this.
Yeah.
And long story short, this is America. We've always tried to be good guys. And I believe that we have been. We should stop playing world police to a degree. But if somebody's trying to come into my house, I should probably say, get the hell off my property and maybe scare them off a little bit versus, wait until they're on my doorstep and dropping them down.
See, I didn't even want to get that deep on this.
Well, you have that whole picture with the mother and the kids, and apparently they're starving and she's the size of me or Amy Schumer.
We've been good. We haven't knocked on Amy Schumer too much.
Well, the
yet.
last time I was here, we knocked on her.
Yeah.
That's why I had to do a shout out.
She's just an easy target. But
With that size, yes.
Easy there.
Hey, listen, I'm doing good. I look very slender today.
So what I have written on the script is border agents are being physically harassed by members of the migrant caravan because they're getting things like rocks thrown at them. And then they're being politically berated for using non-lethal methods like tear gas in order to defend themselves and perform their job of not allowing everyone to just walk across the border.
Mm-hmm.
So So they're doing that. Hey, you need to get off. You
Yeah,
need to
get the hell
don't-
off. Well, they're not on our property, but long story short, we're defending who we are. I'm sure if a zombie horde came to well, they're not zombies,
Well,
but like,
no.
you know, what I'm trying to say is, if I see a bunch of people trying to get in, I'm gonna say you need to back off.
Well, yeah, and then you said you would drop them, but they're taking the in-between step.
Mm-hmm.
They're using non-lethal methods, and if you dare to look at that picture of it much, most of the people in that picture are men.
Yeah.
So they have one woman and and two children, or three.
Two, I think.
Okay.
Two.
So one woman and her children next to tear gas, where a photographer is also set up next to the tear gas. So that's the part that's got me a little confused.
Did CNN take the picture?
I don't know who took the picture. I don't know. There was a funny thing with Gerardo Rivera or whatever, where I'm not gonna. It was on Hannity, I think.
Not
And,
familiar. Go ahead.
And him and Dan Bongino asked Gerardo, "What should we do?" And then he was just like, "Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't do. I wouldn't use tear gas and blah blah blah." It's like, no, what should we do? And he just kept for about 8 minutes. He said what we shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, well, what would you do to stop this? So now that we've gotten into that,
Yes.
the Ukraine has entered into martial law in sections along their border.
Interesting. Well, I don't blame them. They were invaded once.
Yeah,
Well, multiple times, but in our time, they've been invaded pretty severely.
and Russia just stole 3 of their naval ships. Now,
jeez.
now stole. It says seize. The article says seizes, but seizes is really a polite way of saying
the
stole.
polite way to say it is, that belongs to Russia because we're a communist nation and we can just, everybody has to share. And now we're sharing Ukraine as well. Socialism, everybody. Also, I was watching a show, and apparently, is Ukraine part of Crimea and all that kind of stuff, or are they like near each other? I know my
I'm bad
geography.
with the geography.
I'm good with
over-
geography, but
Yeah.
apparently Russia is constructing the largest bridge that they've ever done, and it's 12 miles long that connects maybe St. Petersburg or some city or town around that, straight to Ukraine, Crimea, that area.
Well, that's kind of cool. A lot of manly men building bridges. They fit right in.
It was really cool because with the video, Putin's in his nice little Kubato or whatever Russian machinery it is, and he has a whole caravan.
Lada?
Maybe. And
No, Ian isn't driving a Lada.
I don't know, but he's in his little truck, and he has a whole caravan of like construction equipment, bridge makers, cranes, and it was really cool. But
Yeah.
what's not cool is invading.
Or stealing Ukraine ships. I mean, it's
Well,
said-
I'd rather him have them than some
it's said-
maniac.
Now here's
Well, he
the
is a
thing.
maniac.
Yeah. What the hell?
Hey, we're doing pretty well with Russia.
It said that Russia seized them. Now I'm not sure if that means like they were kind of sailing near the border and they got onto the ships and were like, hey, we're gonna take the ship in for a little bit until we know you guys aren't trying to spy on us. Or if they went over to a harbor that Ukraine is in control of and like stole 2 little wave runners, like, because technically they're naval ships, but there's probably a big difference between stealing 3 wave runners and
3 multi-billion-dollar
3
ships
naval vessels.
that can do a lot of damage. But anyway,
We read well past the headlines.
yeah. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to discuss things. You're supposed to make things logical and point things out and understand why it's good or bad.
Well, I mean, it would help if that's the headline.
Yeah.
And I skimmed into it a little just to find out that it was, because it just said Ukraine entered into martial law, and then early in the article it says in the border areas and the Russian naval stealing the vessels. I think a great example of how our reporting is going is this week earlier this week, John Bolton, our national security advisor,
Okay.
was interviewed by a bunch of reporters. And he didn't want to, I could never find out if it was a video or an audio recording. He didn't want to, we'll just say it was audio. He didn't want to listen or, I guess, watch the killing of the guy in the Constantinople. Oh, no, sorry. It's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Okay.
No.
I didn't get it.
You don't know who know you know the song. Everyone knows that song. There might be giants in Istanbul. It's not Constantinople.
Now I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Anyway, history of it is Constantinople was an ancient city. That,
I know that.
Okay, and the Turks took the Turk.
Yes.
They changed. Yeah.
Okay.
They changed the name. So anyway, going back.
What song is that then?
It's called Constantinople
Oh, I don't.
or Istanbul.
Who is it by?
There might be giants.
No, I never heard of it.
All right, we'll play it before after we go over to our segment, just so you know. And I'm still hoping this camera's recording.
It's gonna record.
It's given me problems before.
No, it's because I'm here. Remember last time we shot? It was perfect.
Perfect the whole way through.
It's because
Okay.
I'm here. I'm a good luck charm.
Okay. Anyway, they berated him and harassed him because he didn't want to watch this video of them talking in. What were they talking in?
Arabic?
Yeah, they were talking in Arabic. And he's like, I don't speak Arabic. There's no reason for me to listen to this recording. Like, and that's a fair statement, right?
Yeah.
And then, so the article is, John Bolton does not watch or listen, not willing to listen to the recording. And if you scroll through the article, the first 3 paragraphs are saying, if he won't listen to this, how can he be this national security advisor if he isn't informed on these matters? First off, it's in Turkey. Like, why
It could
is
be Turkish that they're speaking.
I think they were speaking
Arabic.
But
Is
it could
Turkish?
be Turkish. We need to travel on this show somehow.
No, that'd be fun.
But regardless, irregardless, not a real word. Regardless of that, what language, he doesn't speak it. Watching the recording would be useless. The media's attacking him for not listening to the recording with a translator. But then if you scroll down, it says, oh yeah, he read the transcript of the...
Yeah.
So what the hell difference does it make? And if you went on Twitter that day, there were people like, our national security advisor needs to hear the screams of the man who died. It's like, wait, why?
Yeah, I think it's more of a matter of he needs to understand what went on, why it happened, and what we can do from it.
Unless it has nothing to do with us.
And
Which, if you knew the song, I could say it's nobody's business but the Turks, and you would follow right along. But
so it's the same thing with like Gentiles and all that.
what? No. It's that's the song. Ugh. All right. So now, because many people, as I have recently discovered from Adam, actually. So this is a little shout out to all the people at my former dorm, Hellier House. But a lot of people there don't know how to light a pilot light. So they should watch our next segment because we're going to show you how to light a pilot light.
I lit a pilot light. It was lit. All right.
So it has recently come to my attention, many of you do not know how to light a pilot light. Do you know how to light a pilot light?
Sounds pretty simple. I've never done it personally.
You've never done it?
No, I've never done it, but I know that it has to do.
What do you have, natural gas in your house? Never goes out?
Yeah, we have a wolf stove. We're bougie over there. We're bougie.
Well, so, as some of you know, you might have propane or natural gas. If you have an older stove, a good gust of wind can come through but blow your pilots out. You can run out of gas if you have propane. Something can happen. for whatever reason, you lose your pilot light. So there's a couple different ways of doing it because there's different types of pilot lights. There's the easiest one, which we're going to actually show you, which is you have to find the orifice for the pilot light and then you just hold a flame to it, and
How many orifices are on a stove?
depends on the stove. Because there's some, this is a 6-burner stove, and this 6-burner stove has 3 pilot lights.
Well, it makes sense.
But there are 6-burner stoves that have 6 pilot lights.
Mm.
So you just have to know what's happening. You have to know about your household products a little bit.
Okay.
And if all else fails, read the owner's manual.
Right, so is it only for stoves, or is it like also for the oven and stuff like that?
It's for the oven, it's for your water heater, it's for...
Well, yeah, water heaters. And
It's for your furnace, depending on what you have.
Okay.
So the biggest thing, though, is on some of those, and we are not responsible for any of the actions you take. We're just trying to give you some helpful hints and tricks, but if you blow your house up, don't come running to us.
That's true.
Or just him. Run to him.
Nah, don't come to me.
So on some of the electronic ones, or there are also some that you have to press and hold, they normally have the instructions printed right next to them, and you'll either have an electronic one that you have to push and it clicks and you hold the gas valve until it...
Like on a grill, like an electric start.
Well, no, because those are just to turn it on and it goes.
Okay.
You're trying to light the pilot light, which is something
That's totally
separate.
different. Yes.
Whereas it might...
I'm just trying to relate it to something else that people would be like, oh, that's what it is.
There's nothing else really like it, because how they work is it's a little tiny bit of gas that shoots out, and it has some people there's a couple different names for it, but it's a piece of ceramic that stays hot.
Okay.
And that's what they kind of work with each other. And if it's not hot enough,
The light goes up.
Then when you let off the valve, it brings the gas down a little bit, and so it'll just fizzle out, and your
Gotcha.
pilot light will be off, and you'll be dumping
Gas in your house.
gas in
and
your
you
house.
don't want that, not at all.
So that's I think all I had for that. So we're gonna zoom in and show you how to light the pilot light. The big thing is make sure there's no gas floating around. If they just blew out and you're like you're cooking and somebody blows a leaf blower on your stove for whatever reason, everything burns out, you could probably reach right in there and light it back up. But if something happened and you've been seeping gas, turn the overhead fan on for a few minutes. That's loud. And
It is.
And
Machine
then
turbine.
turn your gas back on and do what we're about to do. Every stove's a little different. It's up to you.
Am I supposed to be doing this?
No, I'm gonna. Well, I just made this. The things that I did it real dark and stormy, and it's dark on the top and light on the bottom, and I don't want just a sip of this straight rum because I actually don't like.
Are you done
this.
complaining?
No, I'm not. Because we're waiting on a reviewer to show up. My drink's not mixed, and if our reviewer doesn't show up, we have a segment, another talking segment, but I wanted to review Farm Simulator 19.
You literally live on a farm. Why do you need a simulator?
We're literally recording this in a farm barn. I don't know.
Anyway,
But, so, if he's not around...
are we talking about the rugged review?
Yeah, the rugged reviewer. They aren't around, sorry. It's not a he. We don't know what gender it is.
It could be a Z.
Oh, jeez. That's a microaggression now. So, if he shows up, we have another segment about what season it is. But if he does show up, we'll replace that season segment. So, let's talk about microaggressions.
Okay.
Anthony, could you,
I cannot.
since you're a larger than life personality,
Thanks.
it's a good thing. It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, absolutely.
You have a very commanding presence, a macro presence. Tell us what a microaggression is.
I'm not a dictionary, first of all. So would that be
What-
qualified as a microaggression?
And if you don't know what a dictionary, no, never mind.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
Never mind.
Okay. So,
The joke is if you don't know a word for this, you'll need a thesaurus, and if you don't know what a thesaurus is, you need a dictionary.
okay.
Hang on, I gotta go check something, but we're gonna keep it rolling really quick.
I know what microaggression
Why don't you define microaggression?
So according to... It was created in the 1970s.
Yeah.
According to the dictionary, it is a noun, a statement, action, or incident regarded as an instance of indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination against a member of a marginalized group such as a racial or ethnic minority. So, subtle things like, that guy's a redneck.
No, that's direct.
Oh. Okay.
So that's not a microaggression. That's
So
just
it's
an
like,
aggression.
oh, you know that guy, how he been doing yeehaw shit.
I think it's even worse. That's still pretty direct. Here's why I want to Here's why I thought this would be good for you, because
Okay.
you're kind of a man's man.
I mean, I would assume so.
We're both. When you say we're both men's men, it starts to sound a little. But we're both.
Well,
very-
wouldn't that be a microaggression?
Yeah, that would be a microaggression. We're both more on the masculine side, so we.
And muscular. So.
Like last time you were here, we talked about what it means to be a man and how
Yes.
that means to find a solution to the problem.
Long story short of it, yes.
There was
Finding the correct means to find a solution to the problem.
well, I think that's not the reason why I didn't agree with finding the correct means is because another big part of being a man is accepting responsibility for your actions when they come out bad. Because you can find the solution, you can work through a bunch of stuff and find the solution, and it might not be the right solution.
Yeah.
But
Would it fix the problem? That's pretty much what you're saying.
well, yeah. But
Okay.
then if it doesn't fix the problem,
Then it's not a solution.
well, okay, but it's an attempted solution.
Okay. And what I mean by...
hang on.
Go ahead.
We'll get into the main.
Okay.
We're not going on that.
I know, I just wanted to
So-
put my 2 cents in.
Yeah. Well, put your 2 cents in on the topic on hand. So you find yourself in trying to find the right solution. You often do not find the right solution. You find something that, or you just do something incorrectly.
Okay.
And especially in your job and your life, it's very.
Oh, you're talking about me.
No, not specifically.
Oh, okay.
you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, what the hell? You do it all wrong. Get out of here. No, in general, people don't always find the correct answer right away. And
Yes.
sometimes it can lead to negative.
100%.
Consequences.
100%.
What's more masculine to say, oh, it was that guy? Or,
No.
I did it. I'm sorry. I have an idea on how to make this right.
I think that's the more logical thing to do as
But that's the-
as a human being,
that's
not
the
even
more-
as a man.
Well, yeah. Well, all of these things, we have not talked about anything specifically inherent to men. Females who can find the right solution are better people. Men who can find the right solution are better people. Females who claim responsibility for their actions are better people. Men are better, and you can keep going. Z's are better people if they know how to claim responsibility, how to find the solution, how to work through problems. But the problem is we're living in a society where it is very common, and this all melds into the microaggressions.
Yes.
I don't believe microaggressions exist. Well, I mean, I guess they exist, but they're micro. They're insignificant.
It's pretty much just it's like throwing shade at something or somebody and like trying to be mean about it.
But it's not-
But it's only like that.
But it's not taken that way anymore. How, like, you have the dictionary definition.
Yeah, which I read.
Which you read. You have the dictionary definition. It's not being taken that way. By that thing, I could say a microaggression might be, say, if you were in a group of people and somebody of any minority, any gender that wasn't prevalent in that wanted to be a part of that. And you didn't just say, no, don't be here because you're so-and-so minority in the group. But if you kind of, like, paid less attention to them, didn't listen to them as much,
Then it would be defined as a microaggression.
then it would be defined as...
even though it was like a passive action. Listen, if somebody's not right for the job or somebody's not
Right,
supposed
right.
to be there,
But that's not an
Yeah.
aggression.
no, that's yeah.
So, the reason why I'm melding that in is microaggressions are being taken as even smaller than that. So, some people have been worrying about me because I've been on Twitter a lot lately.
Oh boy.
And it's actually...
Like in a Donald Trump sense, or
No,
Okay.
gee, well, maybe.
Oh, okay.
It's actually to do some debate prep for the show, for when we have our big conversation.
So you do want to be a master debater?
Easy.
All right, on a serious note, let's go.
So
Let's go on with it.
it's about finding out some of these things that are happening so we can do more for you. Because we give the power to you, the viewers. So, this week, there was a woman who went off on Twitter. And this thing made trending on Twitter. Which, nobody knows how they make their trending list. If it's like YouTube where they manipulate the numbers, or if it's like the most popular looked at thing. Like how YouTube used to be. I can tell you, we put some tags relevant to the episodes that we were doing, like when we did the I Like Beer episode, and magically, we went from having 24 subscribers and 50 viewers every episode to having 10 viewers on an episode and still 24 subscribers. And this was only those episodes that I tagged. So, there was this woman who was ranting on Twitter 2 or 3 days after an event. She was in an airport with 2 laptops. And some guy came up to her and asked her, "Why do you have 2 laptops?" And I didn't look at her picture, I just read the story. He could have thought she was a dime and wanted to talk to her, get to know her, get her number. He could have just been trying to start a conversation. So she just not paying a huge amount of attention, just because she was using one of the laptops.
Sure.
She was working. She said, "Well, this one computer is for this robotics company I work for, and then this other computer's for this artificial intelligence company I work for."
Okay.
And then she went back to her work, and that was the end of it.
Sure. Okay.
So
normal.
That'd be a great conversation to have with them. I would love to talk to this.
Yeah,
woman.
they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, what company? What are you working on? Well, like, if it's confidential, of course. But,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But talking to her
Yeah,
about it,
especially at an airport, if your plane's
Yeah.
not on time, delayed, if they have to do
But
stuff on it.
this little thing right here has more computing power than the Allies had in World War II.
It has 1,000, probably even 100,000 more, much more power.
That
That's the way to say
that
it.
statement came out a couple of years ago. This computer might have had more computing power than this phone might have had more computing power than the entire country, the entire globe during World War II.
I can agree with that. I can agree 100%. But like, isn't it like in the 1960s or 70s when they had the huge like room computers?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was equivalent to like your iPod Shuffle.
Yeah. If our viewers even know what an iPod Shuffle
Oh
is.
wow, that's creepy.
We're getting old.
Ugh.
But so it to her it's not weird that she had 2 laptops. But even if the guy didn't want to start a conversation, maybe he thought it was a little strange she had 2 laptops. Because that really isn't common.
I have 2 laptops.
Do you use both of them?
Not at the same time. When I was in college, yes, because I'm a Mac guy. But when it came to Excel and spreadsheets and Microsoft Word and this and that, they 100% work better on a Windows software.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great reason. That'd be a perfect answer.
Like
So-
if I had to do spreadsheets all day long, I'd rather have an HP. Wow, bad voice crack. HP versus a Mac because
So-
Mac you have
so-
to like turn it upside down to do addition function.
We have our great examples of how this could be normal, this could be strange.
Sure, yeah.
It's a decent question to ask.
Yeah.
2 days, 3 days later, this woman goes on Twitter. She's been stewing on this. This one simple social interaction between another human being. Asking her why she has 2 laptops. She can't believe how this man thinks she shouldn't have 2 laptops because she's a
Did
woman.
Did he ever say that?
No. She took it as a microaggression. And I commented on this, and everyone who posted on it was like, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous. Maybe he wanted to talk to her. And somebody said, well, you're not a woman. You don't have to deal with microaggressions in every action, in every interaction. It's like, so, and now this is where I roll it into taking responsibility.
Okay.
And you might have an tell me if you follow this.
I'm listening.
So, by not taking responsibility for your own actions, you start to, like when it's a negative, you start to believe that you can't, if it's going on for long enough. Everyone throws someone else under the bus once in a while. It's life. But if you do it consistently, I think that you start to actually believe that, well, because you can't be responsible for any negative consequence, you can't be responsible for any positive consequence.
Okay.
So as a society, we have moved into not being able to believe positive or negative. So, you know what? If let's say you dropped your cigar and burned the barn down. Well, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I was letting you smoke a cigar in the barn. But, so let's say then,
I have a perfect example.
wait, just
Okay,
keep rolling.
okay.
Let's keep rolling on.
right.
So you on the show, I on a whim said, hey, you should apply for a lottery ticket. And so now, because you don't think it was my idea that you should buy a lottery ticket, and you bought but you bought the lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You took the action,
Yeah.
and you won $10 million.
Okay.
But it's mine. You're not, like, you've gotten to the point because you've never accepted a negative. You think it was only because it was my idea. So now,
I can understand that.
because each little individual act cannot be the response of any of yourself. Now it also can't be the fault, the man who comes up to this woman. It's not anything to do with the individual as to why he asked the question. So it's not her fault, and it's not his fault, because no individual can be responsible for any action. So then you attribute it to the larger picture. He's a man, she's a woman. It's a bit, I'm personally seeing this all over, and that's where I'm getting this thought from.
Okay.
But, and it's tough because this situation was the situation where I saw it.
Okay.
But she's seeing this innocent action as a microaggression.
Well, I have many, many things to cover. First of all, it sounds like a personal problem. You need to be a little bit more sensible. You are a human being.
I think we're all getting a little too sensitive around here.
Yes. But one of the things you said was it's not the individual.
No, I think it is the
It
individual.
100% is the individual.
I think the
how you said it, I must have misinterpreted. But for instance, I said I was going to smoke a cigar.
Yes.
Did I say you're going to smoke a cigar with me?
No.
Did I say you're going to light that cigar for you?
No.
You did it on your own.
I took the individual action to
Yes.
light this cigar.
And before I almost tried to cut you off, I said I have a perfect example. Let's just say it's snowing outside and you have to move your car because one of your significant others, your family member, colleague, roommate, something like that needs to move their car so they can go to work. So you say, okay, no problem. You go shovel the snow out of the driveway and you back up your car and you hit somebody. You're going to go back inside and say, oh, all because you didn't park behind me, you made me go into an accident. Who the hell was driving the car? Who the hell had to do X, Y, and Z? It's your accountability. It's you're doing the action. You cannot blame somebody all because they have to go to work. And you see what I'm saying? Like
So-
you did the
Yes.
you did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yes. But because you're not so, and I'm seeing it as we've done that as a society for so long.
Right, and I've been changing it. You know, if somebody says, I feel that way because of you. No, you feel the way you feel because you're a human being. It's not because, I might be in a mood or something, but it's how you interpret it. I'm not suggesting because I'm upset that you have to be angry that I'm upset. It's just how it is.
Yeah, but you're going off on why it's wrong to not accept responsibility for your actions. Which I 100%, and you just dropped that ash the entire way down your body.
Yeah, that's alright.
I 100% agree with that sentiment. Like, that, but, oh no, somebody's pulling in, so we're gonna have to talk loud.
Yeah, we should be fine.
No, yeah, it'll go away. But, so, I'm thinking that, it was, the term you said was invented in the 70s. But
Yes.
we never really heard about it. Like, when I was in 2012, I'd never heard the word microaggression used. Maybe not 2012, we might have to go a bit further, like 2008. Nobody was telling me how they felt about microaggressions because that's the thing. They're so small, they're insignificant.
I think this is going to be a huge tangent. I think it's a term created to be applied for certain situations, so when that certain situation affects somebody mentally, that there can be profit made off of it.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's it. I don't
But
think
everything needs a label.
I'm sorry, our camera got cut off. I'm gonna try to melt this clip together. Anthony was starting. We'll probably have to wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because we've gone for 20 minutes on this topic now.
Yes.
But Anthony was saying he thinks everything needs a label because it's about the money.
I don't know if this cut off at this certain point. I'm not trying to say there's no such thing as this, and that. I'm not saying that that's fake, this is fake. Nothing like that. The world is a very interesting dynamic where everything is connected. And there is things that need to be more corrective or, fixed.
Yeah.
And things that are, we need to sit back and be like, really?
Well-
we need to, but I'm nothing against anybody, but what I'm trying to say is that these words are made for a reason to help discover our mind. I know that sounds really weird, but what I'm saying is every pot has a lid, and the reason why these words are out there is because there's profit attached to it. So if somebody says, I have microaggression, like I felt like attacked, they can take that to court. They can make an argument out of it. They can say it's made mental distress, which it might be. Like I said, I'm not trying to single anybody out or, trying to say this is fake, this isn't. I think it's a very real thing. Mental illness is real, and
Well,
if it is caused.
Let me take you off here, because you're right. I mean, but really, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you're trying to give the counterpoint, but it is fair to say that there are people in this country who are mistreated. Yes.
110%.
It's also fair to say that, if you went to look for a real racist in the entire country, and do you know how many million people are in this country right now?
In this country?
Yeah.
Isn't it in 3?
Just Google it right now.
Jeez.
So what I'm trying to say is, you'd probably only find 100,000 people who are truly racist.
325,145,963 plus or minus.
So now, even if my 100,000 guess is wrong, and there's 200,000 people in this country who are actual racist, people who would actually discriminate against someone, like let's say you have two equally qualified people, except a black person has 2 years of experience where the white person has a year. They're equally qualified, but the black guy has more experience.
And that's what it should be based off of.
But a real racist would not hire the black guy. They both have experience, and that would be the argument. So let's say, but it would be so hard to find people who are like that. Because most people would be like, look, this guy has 2 years of experience. They have the same, they went to the same college, they have the same grades, their personalities are a little different, whatever. They're both agreeable people who are good for the team.
Yeah.
Not necessarily yes men, but they have their own personality. And they both of them get along equally with everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
A real racist would not hire the black guy. But I would hire the black guy. Well, I guess,
because-
oh great, now I'm trying to defend myself. No, that doesn't matter. A normal person would hire the black guy. But you'd be hard pressed to find people who are actually like that.
I can agree with that, and I think this is going to be my be-all, end-all on racism, and it's going to sound very silly, but it's 100% true. There will always be racism.
To some degree, yes.
The only way that everybody on this planet will get along is if another species arrives, like for instance an alien race, or robots.
Well, that's just because we're going to discriminate against them.
Exactly. That's the only way that racism is always going to be around.
Well-
It starts at the day you're born.
No.
Not saying
no,
like
no.
100%. If your grandpappy said, "Oh, f those guys, don't talk to them. They're nasty. They're this. They're that." That's always going to be embedded in your brain because that's your granddad.
But I think that we've moved away from that. Like, you have to remember,
As
we
parents
fought,
now,
we
yes.
fought a war over this. We fought a war over making black people and white people equal, and it took time. It really did.
Well, from
Because
1860s to the 1960s.
It's still there
There
is
is
still
debate.
parts of it.
Yes, 100%.
So, and this is where I think the microaggressions don't exist, because, you know, if there's still things that need to be done, if you worry about things like, okay, this person asked why do I need two computers? And then if the victim culture, the identity politics, the virtue signaling all get to you, and you think that this person asked you why you needed two laptops because they're assuming because you're black, white, yellow, purple, pink, man, woman, anything in between, anything not in between man and woman, old, young, a baby, an infant,
A geezer.
a geezer. if you think it's because of that, you are actually harming the things that still need to be done. Because everyone is going to look at you like instead of two laptops, you have two heads. Because you're...
Well, a normal person would see that.
a normal person, because you're blaming it on something that is outside of the individual when it's obviously an individual interaction.
But it's not her fault she felt that way. But it is...
Well, no.
In my point, it's a negative way to look at things because I feel that this population
No. But that's where I'm attributing it to. It's not her. I will say it's not her fault. It's because as a society we've denied responsibility for so long.
I can agree to that.
So going off of that, that's the problem. But you need to take control of your own self.
100%.
And really, but if you're making other people, if you're screaming, look at me, I did this, and this microaggression happened, there are things that are real aggressions and big issues that are still happening. I can't tell you what, but if you ignore the big things to worry about the little things, you're not going to make any progress because people
100%.
are going to think you're insane.
Yeah.
So that's our fun talk, and I could incorporate more, but we're probably way over time.
I think so.
So we are going to jump. Our reviewer hasn't showed up yet, unless that was the person pulling in, but I doubt it. They haven't come up here.
He actually flies.
Yeah?
Actually, she goes on a boat.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was a little wet in New Jersey today.
No. So we're going to jump into our skill of the week in a second. So catch us after the break. Man, it's starting to get a little chilly in here.
I want to say it, but I can't. I hate you.
No, I don't know. Use a different word. Well, not that one. That's an interesting segment. I actually tried to get a couple different people on here because there was more that I wanted to touch on, but you know, whatever. We already hit 30 minutes on that
Nice.
second segment
Nice.
alone, so there's going to be a little bit that I cut out, probably nothing
Yeah,
big.
sure.
Speed some parts up. But I mentioned the cold thing because I wanted to talk about our skill of the week.
Okay.
What season are we approaching?
On the 21st, it will be the winter solstice, and we shall officially enter winter.
What's the big key thing about winter?
It's longer nights,
No.
and it's cold.
It's cold.
Well, because the sun's not out as much.
Well,
so
yeah.
It is cold.
And we're slightly further away from the sun.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
because the Earth is not flat, but it's really egg-shaped.
Yeah, it's like egg-shaped with tumors.
My egg's got a tumor.
Pretty much, that's Mount Everest. But anyway,
But it's mostly egg-shaped. It's not flat. All you...
I mean, there's awesome arguments about it, but it's ridiculous.
There are, but it's absurd.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by ice. You know what? Every flat earther should go rent a plane. Private jet from outside of the country. Say a country that might not have involvement with the US government. Rent a plane that has enough fuel to go around the world.
I'm not gonna lie.
And just fly around the globe.
All I'm gonna say is I don't think I would want to go to a different country that's not affiliated with the United States and rent a plane.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe a hot air
Find
balloon.
somebody-
Hot air balloon might be not bad, and then dress up in cold weather.
Find somebody who dislikes the U.S. government but also owns a plane.
Be friends with Putin. He has ships
No,
too.
no,
He has
because the
ships
Russian
too.
plane is. He has a couple ships, you know.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus!
easy.
Jesus! My fault.
So,
I was just trying to get comfortable.
there was actually someone who's a little younger than us who just flew around the world in like
That's
a single
pretty
engine
cool.
plane.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I wish I could had the time and money to just
Yeah.
hop
just say,
in a
screw
plane
it.
and be like, see ya.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So he had to stop for fuel a few times. So these people are going to be like,
I hope so.
Oh, when he stopped for fuel, he turned and he didn't fly around the globe. He flew in a circle and
Haters gonna hate.
yeah. Anyway, it's getting cold out,
Yes, it is.
and we are manly men.
I'm beefy.
Oh.
Husky.
Well, you're pre-insulated, so.
Yes.
But we like to be outside.
I do. We do.
What do you have to do for being outside when it's cold out?
Well, it starts with the extremities.
Well, what do you have to do to not be cold?
You put on clothes.
You have to dress warmly. So the Washington Post shockingly led me to this, and I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about it. We want to there are some people who might not know how to dress. For
How to
real.
bundle up.
How to dress the proper way to be warm in the cold. I've been outside when it was negative 10 degrees. It is cold
Yes,
out.
I've been there too.
So, what's the first thing you want to? What's the biggest thing to dressing warmly?
Are we talking as like
You-
a first
if-
step,
if
or are
you-
we talking about like if you're gonna
The
go
general
outside?
principle of dressing warmly. It's on the script. If you need to take.
Oh, look at that! Let's see. Apparently, many people die a year because they're cold.
You know, well, it's if you really look into it, they're
Layers.
layers, layers like ogres or onions or parfaits.
Yes. Or cakes.
Or cakes, layers. Layers are important because many people do die from the cold.
Yes.
More people
Not a laughing matter.
in the modern world die from the cold than the heat right now. Hypothermia, frostbite, people driving just in this freak snowstorm a couple weeks ago.
Thanksgiving week.
No.
Yeah, Thanksgiving week. It snowed on. Oh no, wait. The week before Thanksgiving. There you go.
I know I was out plowing. But
Plowing what?
your mom?
Oh, now I can't show this video to my mom.
No, you set this one up. You set that joke up.
Yeah, I will.
All of your mom jokes. My favorite one was like, I saw this somewhere. It was like a fake job application. Guy was like, so do you know how to operate heavy machinery? Other guy was like, yeah, I was with your mom last night. And the first guy was like, I got it. You got me.
Yeah.
So bad jokes. Anyway, I was plowing snow.
Good.
Yeah. So the viewers already know that though, because I touched on that last week.
Awesome.
But anyways,
Proud of you.
somebody's car slid into train tracks
Oh my.
and they couldn't get out when the train was coming.
That's a very
and
unfortunate.
they didn't get out of the car either. But
Darwinism.
yeah. I think it was an elderly person, so they've probably already
Natural
reproduced.
selection, yeah.
So layered.
Yes, like onions.
Or ogres? What's the first thing you put on?
Well, underwear is a good start. All right, yeah. Underwear, socks,
A base layer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it says it right there on the sheet.
Yeah.
A base layer. So yes, like underwear, long johns, good socks.
We don't have this whole thing actually scripted out. We just have little talking points and then
So I can't tell you what to do on the base.
No, you can.
Yeah, like I said, underwear,
I'm just gonna
long
mock
johns.
you because you were so resistive against
I
having
don't
a
do
script.
scripts. I can't read, which I've touched about.
It's just about having a few big talking points to
Yes,
guide.
and that's what we're doing.
So base layer.
Yes, underwear, long johns, good socks.
I don't like most Under Armour products
Really?
personally. And it might not be that I don't like them. It might just be that I don't care
Okay.
to have Under Armour branded products.
Sure, yeah.
But they hit the thermal underwear and the long johns, the tight shirts. They hit that base layer.
I mean, you can also say you can be balling on a budget and get military surplus stuff.
Yeah.
Their stuff is meant to be worn in cold
But
and harsh weather.
I do give Under Armour credit. I give
I agree.
people credits where it's due, and Under Armour has the credit because it's very moisture wicking, and
Moisture.
which is important because you don't want to be wet when it's
Yes,
cold
very
out.
true. That's a no-no.
And it's normally pretty warm. Thank you. It's something tight. I like my base layer to be something tight.
I can agree with that. I don't want it flopping around because it doesn't feel right, and then that's where you accumulate the moisture.
So then your next step would be the covering layer.
Yes. So, water resistant.
No. You're getting too far.
Oh.
The layer above your
okay,
base
just-
layer.
Honestly, normal clothes. Like you can rock jeans, you can, use pants, you can, sweatpants.
And of course, it depends on the weather too. Like if
course.
it's 30 degrees, long underwear, jeans, you're gonna be good. Mm-hmm. If it starts to get cold, I like to throw a sweatshirt and insulated jeans into the mix.
Yes.
I have a couple good pairs of these flannel lined jeans, which are nice.
So it's pretty much just building up. So like depending on the weather, you could probably get away with, long johns, jeans, a sweatshirt, and a winter jacket just to go out and shovel snow. But if we're talking about negative 30-degree weather, you're going to need to build more and more off of that.
I mean, they have so many heated jackets now, too.
Right, yeah,
If you're in negative 30 degrees.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, you can start off as a basis of, like, yes, I have jeans on and a sweatshirt, and then you can keep on building.
And then you put something under it, you put something above it.
Exactly.
Like we said before, when you start getting to the outer layer, a big thing to think about is keeping dry.
Yes,
which is where if you're just shoveling snow, maybe a base layer in jeans isn't good enough.
Not to go on a tangent, but most heart attacks happen during a snowstorm.
I thought most of them happened while people were crapping.
Oh, well, that too, but when the cold weather comes...
Hey, baby!
Oh!
Hey!
Oh!
That one was me!
Yeah, it was. So, for instance, the reason why is because people go out there and shovel.
Oh, yeah.
Can you stop? Jeez.
I'm knocking the table tender and gently and slowly.
I don't want to be that table. That's pretty nasty.
So, really, when you get... Yes, you just keep building, and... When you start to spend a lot of time outside, you start to understand what you need to mix and match on the cold days, on the warmer days.
Yep.
When it gets below 10, you really want to hit the outer layer.
100%. I know that Carhartt has that onesie that you literally throw over everything and it buttons up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I have one of those, but not from Carhartt. I have so let's say it's 8 degrees out.
Sure, yeah, let's go.
What I do normally is I throw my base layer on top and bottom.
Yep.
I put a long sleeve shirt on. I put my flannel lined jeans on.
Nice.
I put a sweatshirt. I put a long sleeve shirt on.
Yeah, and then a sweatshirt.
I have a couple. If it's really cold, I have a couple double layer shirts, which are hard to find, but they're good. I put a sweatshirt on. Then I put a light jacket on, and then I put a heavy jacket.
And that's very good.
Sorry, light jacket, then overalls that are insulated, and then a heavy jacket.
And that's very good to touch on because when you're out in that weather, let's just say you're doing a lot of work, you'll probably want to take off one of those layers.
Yeah.
And that's where it's good. That's where like it says, layers.
Yeah, and that's why you put the overalls
100%.
over the light jacket.
100%.
But a thing that people miss out on is space. So a lot of people start to think, because we said the base layer should be tight and moisture wicking, they think the next layer should be tight and moisture wicking. It's once you get the middle layer, you could kind of get away with it, but when you start to get to the outer layer, which is really meant to keep you dry,
it's like a machine, in my opinion.
well, it's like a house.
That too. Yeah.
It's like you put insulation over it and the air inside gets warm.
Correct.
And you keep that air inside warm.
Correct, which we need to do with the barn.
Yeah, we keep talking about that.
We do. Especially if I'm going to be on more shows, I think I'll
You come with a built-in base layer.
All right, you can. Buzz off.
Yeah. Well, on that landmine, on that landmine
There you go, landmine.
of a good old fat joke.
Ha! It's funny.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll kill you in your sleep.
Thanks for watching.
That's not a threat, but yes, thank you for.
No,
watching.
yeah, no, it's
Not be a microaggression. Not to make fun of it either. Jesus, this world is very interesting.
I think Kurt Russell said it right. We're getting a little too sensitive around here.
Yep.
So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, click the notification bell, share with your friends. I think we have, 2 more episodes until Christmas?
Hey, I don't read the script. I just come here for a good time.
no, we have 1 more episode before Christmas.
Is it going to be a Christmas episode?
I think it's going to be
It has to be a Christmas.
How many episodes do we have until Christmas?
Apparently we only have one, Forrest. This is like our 4th take.
Does it have to be a Christmas episode?
It has to be a Christmas episode.
It has to be a Christmas
Yes,
episode.
or holiday episode if we want to be politically correct. But damn it, this is Christmas.
And get with the beat.
Nice. I don't know what to do now.
No?
I'm confused.
Well,
Do I have to do this?
no, you already did the hand.
Well, what?